Happy May 4th, everyone. I'm just doing this quick video. It's nothing too deep, nothing too special, very superficial, just to, celebrate the fan-made holiday for Star Wars fans like myself. And before I continue, I want to give a special shout out to Aizen-sama. He's a captain in my Discord, and he has been so helpful. He's been so loyal, going on every live stream, commenting on every video, and just being there. I appreciate your help, man. I really, really do. Quick honorable mentions for Darth Trey and Darth Revan. As a whole, I love both these characters, and I would love to be an apprentice to Traya, but I'm judging my favorite Sith. These characters are just great overall. Easily here at the number 10 spot, and the guy I consider to be the benchmark for Sith, we have Darth Maul. Darth Maul has one of the greatest cinema entrances ever, period, with John Williams' amazing score behind him, The Duel of Fates. How could you not like Maul? Maul is amazing. His use of the double-bladed lightsaber, his complete physical approach to how he battles, doesn't use the Force as much, he kind of uses it to enhance himself. You just love him. He looks like a Sith. The Zabraks in general kind of look like Sith, not to be mean to Zabraks, but he embodies what a Sith is to me. Maul also sets the benchmark for the kind of Sith you're going to see on my list. And at the number 9 spot, we have Kas'im. Now, if you don't know who Kas'im is, he is Darth Bane's lightsaber master in the Darth Bane trilogy books, and I promise you this is not the last Darth Bane character you will see in this list. Dark Lord Kas'im is the best lightsaber duelist in the Darth Bane series, period, and as stated, he may be the best lightsaber duelist of all time. He has mastered all 7 forms of lightsaber combat. He is a master with single blade, he's a master with dual blades, and he is a master with the saber staff. He is a monster. He is brutish, clever, and very powerful. At the height of Bane's power in the Darth Bane first book, Path of Destruction, Darth Bane let out basically a force storm that he had been gathering, and Kas'im redirected it with a quick force shield. Granted, this led to his death, but hey, it just shows that he's powerful. Again, Kas'im is an amazing character. There's a bit of nuance to him because even though he believes in the Brotherhood, Lord Khan's Brotherhood, that the Sith should work together to eliminate the Jedi, then they can go back to being themselves, he still holds on to very old-fashioned ideas that you should still have to kill your master, you keep what you kill, things like that. He is amazing, and I love his character so much. This one's going to surprise you guys, but I have the Emperor's Wrath or the Empire's Wrath from the Star Wars Old Republic MMORPG. Now, there's going to be a lot of Legends characters on here, and yes, I know it's a video game character, but he does actually have a canon story, and I love it so much. From killing a would-be apprentice to Darth Barris, to becoming Darth Barris' apprentice, to going on this galactic-wide journey, working for this Sith Lord with the most illest of intentions, tricking a Jedi into becoming your apprentice, and doing a whole host of other things like becoming the Emperor's Wrath after Darth Barris betrays you. It's an amazing story, and then from that point on, you work to get back at Darth Barris with this new crew and an awesome shield. My favorite starfighter in the entire series, by the way. Ultimately becoming a member of the Dark Council and killing Barris in a very epic and public display. I love this story. If you haven't had a chance to play through it, I 1000% recommend it. Here we have another video game character in Darth Marr. Now, technically, Darth Marr does have a comic appearance, so he's not just strictly video games, but he's such an awesome dude. He's so great to have as a partner. Even better, he's such a warrior. He's such a good leader. Like, his character in the series he's so likable as a Sith, which is so weird to say. Like, not that there aren't likable Sith, but Darth Marr rarely does anything in the series that ever makes you kind of stop him like, dude, I really hate you. But this is just a fun pick for me. I'm sorry. And with 3 of the entries so far, as you can see, he's a warrior just like the others. And that's probably my favorite thing. He is truly hard down a warrior in his soul, and I love it. Next up is Marka Ragnos. Now, I love Marka Ragnos because, like, for me, he is that, like, Dark Lord that you hear about in fantasy series. The guy that's always the faceless evil villain of a series, the Saurons, the Palpatines. That's what Marka Ragnos is for me. Like, when I think of that character, that's who I think of. Marka Ragnos is such a monster that he plagued 3 whole generations of Force users. His own generation, when he made Ulic Qel-Droma and Exar Kun Sith, and later when he started messing with Luke's era of Jedi. Marka Ragnos is just a problem inside of a problem, and his power is almost unrivaled. It's top 10 in like Sith power wise. He's like top 10 easy, maybe even top 5. And opening us to the top 5 list, we have Darth Malgus, the original Darth Vader. The reason I love Darth Malgus is very simple. There's depth to his character. When I actually found out about his story about his wife and him killing her so he no longer had weakness, like, that really broke me. I was like, I genuinely feel bad for the dude that like he fell that hard to the dark side. But the fact that he's just an unkillable walking machine, you just gotta love it. There's nothing to dislike about Malgus, in my opinion. I love his duel with Satele. I love his duel on the ship. He's just a fantastic character, and like the others, you can see the trend. I love that he's a sword master. Rushing into number 4, we have the person Darth Malgus was based on, Darth Vader, the one and the only. No Sith list is complete without Vader. Truly, like, it isn't. And I'm not even considering the things he did as Anakin Skywalker. I may consider some of the things he did as when he's Anakin/Vader, but just as Vader, being the most prolific Jedi killer ever, that just keeps him at the top, period. And there's going to be another person ahead of him that is also a very prolific Jedi killer. But Vader's story is Vader's story. We all know why, so I don't need to explain why, but Vader's here at 4. This one may make people upset, but this is my list, so I don't care. Here at number 3, we have Tulak Hord. This one is really based mostly on my own kind of headcanon I've created for the character. The things we do know about him: breaking a siege of 1,000 Jedi, fighting a anti-force being, and beating him in swordsmanship, shows that he doesn't need the force to be a wrecking machine. Tulak Hord is such a cool character, the bringer of darkness. His armor, his lightsaber, his story, in the way Traya hypes him up. I really do wish we had gotten a story about Tulak. I really wish he had his own story, because I feel like there's something really great there. And the fact that he was in such a rivalry that when he killed his opponent, he's like, I'm wiping you out of the history annals, period. Although we still know who it is, funny enough. But Tulak Hord mainly is here because of his aesthetic, the stories about him, and just how much I've kind of mystified the character for myself. At number 2, we have the rule of 2 himself, Darth Bane. Now, I could write an entire dissertation about Bane, Zannah, and that entire book series. The Darth Bane trilogy is my favorite Star Wars content, period. And I mean that, period. More than the movies, more than any game, that is my favorite Star Wars content, period. I love Drew's characterization of these people. I've emailed Drew asking him questions about the story. That's how much I love this series. I have the book collection. I have the audiobooks. Bane is such a unique Sith because we truly get to see every single thought process, every change in this man's personality. And we're taken on this fantastic journey of a man beaten and taken and destroyed, but then rebuilding himself, grinding, and ultimately not letting go of those things and letting it corrupt him into the monster he becomes. It's such a good story. Bane's relationship with Kas'im, who's also on this list, is some of my favorite. There's honor and respect there, even when they're trying to kill each other. His relationship to Githany, a woman he clearly loves and wants to help, but in his mind, she needs to help herself, but he never actively gets her to where he needs her to be to try to save her life. It's really sad, but ultimately it wasn't going to work out anyway, especially with the way Bane describes it. And one thing I really do love is that we do see development from those traumas that Bane goes through with Zannah. Very early on in their career, Bane realizes he can't abuse Zannah. He can't treat her like just some common apprentice and beat her or try to demean her too much, because if he does that, she'll resent him and she'll never accept his teachings. He grows as a person despite being as vile as he is. The man just sees the world in black and white, and it's sad, but that's his character. And speaking of Zannah, here we are. My number 1 favorite Sith of all time is Darth Zannah. Now, to be honest, it kind of does flip between Bane and Zannah sometimes because just it depends on what part of the book I'm at, honestly. There's something in comic books called legacy characters. These are characters that have a title or position that gets passed on to other characters, and oftentimes when other medias I've seen try to do this, they don't do it well. One of the best ones is the Flash. The Flash mantle has been handed down several times, and it always seems to actually work out, and the fans really kind of get behind it. So when Drew Carbishan did this story about the start of the Rule of Two, and when I saw who Zannah was and that was going to be Bane's legacy, she fit it so well. She is not him at all. Bane is a brutish sword fighter who is so ridiculously powerful in the Force. He's like a grenade in all intents and purposes, but Zannah is a scalpel. Zannah, her Sith sorcery and her defensive style allow her to wear down her opponents and get in their heads and break them down on a level that's hard to defend against. Now, even looking at some of the other things, Zannah is something very special because she's a female character who Drew did not have to essay in order to give her character growth. This is a very bad trope we see in a lot of things, and he never had to do that to her to give her character growth. She was broken down as a person in a different way. A regular character, war, tragedy. That's how she was broken down. But she builds herself up. She can tangle with any man. She can intimidate them, and she can overpower them. Such a good character, and she's my favorite Sith, hands down. Thank you for watching my Star Wars video, guys. This will not be the last of my Star Wars content on this channel, I promise. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, hit the notification bell so you can catch up with all the videos I post. I try to post once a week. I'll have another video coming out next week for Bleach, so please stay tuned to that. And if some of you are wondering, wait, where's Vitiate? Where's Palpatine? It's simple, guys. They're not really my favorites. I don't like people who are evil for evil's sake. Tyrannus didn't really make this list. He almost made the list, but sometimes I just felt like his story was too inconsistent. I don't get how he goes from such a heartwarming, caring guy to the monster of the CIS, so that's that. And to explain Traya and Revan again, it's simply that, like, they go back and forth between being Sith and not Sith, and I know so was kind of Vader, but it is a bit different. That's why they weren't there. May the 4th be with you guys. Love you. Have a good day, guys. Bye.